all these interviews and all this stuff, and Diane Sawyer had you crying on television earlier.
Yeah, she did.
Don't you think they could edit that stuff out a little bit?
I know, right? She's a great lady, but I mean, that was her mission in those interviews, to make people cry, and I'm really kind of upset that I kind of broke like that, but it's all...
It's all good. It's all good. I fell into this little trap because, of course, this was just on the YouTube feed regularly since she put out her response. And so I watched this one that I'm going to include at the end that was like just like a couple of her cringy moments or something like that. Just to, show the pattern. But I just picked different aspects of attack. So this was a breakup. I honestly don't know what Brittany did. I think maybe cheating. I don't know. I'm trying to go on memory from when it actually happened because I didn't look into it. I still have not watched like this full interview or anything like this, but just trying to keep track. So this was, I believe, a breakup, ending a relationship, broke America's heart kind of thing. So we're going to go through this Brittany interview, and then we're going to watch these little clips at the end, and then we're going to end it. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Busy, and you're doing all these interviews and all this stuff, and Diane Sawyer had you crying on television earlier.
Yeah, she did.
Don't you think they could edit that stuff out a little bit?
I know, right? She's a great lady, but I mean, that was her mission in those interviews, to make people cry, and I'm really kind of upset that I kind of broke like that, but it's all...
I'm no expert at all, but this is my take on the video, because this we looking and we observing. First off, with the pounding of the fist, she was so happy to have someone else speaking for her, saying, shouldn't they edit it out? Because that was her thought. That's what she probably been thinking since that video. She wished that was not out for the public. She wished nobody had seen that, because now she got to keep on talking about it, kind of thing. And she makes it a point to say it was a mission in those interviews, just to make sure you understand that, like, there was no way I was going to walk out there without tears. You could tell, like, she must have just felt that vibe when things changed, like when that fakeness went away. Like, that's just ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. And I understand that this is rehearsing. You'll never get the full effect of how she felt or anything like that. But do you see how she even is still trained to not send out no bad mojo or anything like that? Blame yourself and say, I'm upset that I got upset, that I broke.
We're human. And stuff happens sometimes. But yeah, she's a little hardcore. She's very good at, like, I'm your friend. I'm going to be so nice to you. And then she grills you.
And then she tried to slip in there her reason and her excuse, because she's still doing an interview. So she tried to say, we're all human and things happen. I don't know if you could really hear that in the beginning of that little clip that I just played. But she's still trying to just give the excuse or the reason that she was trying to get a Diane. Like, okay, this is what I'm telling the public. Mind your business. Moving on. We all human. I did what I did. Okay. Oh, man, that's crazy. But can you see her description of the interview? Like, why would the roller coaster, because that's what it looked like, you going uphill and then all of a sudden, boom, and this is what's to be expected, and you just gotta walk in there at 22 years old. Man, that's crazy.
Big time, and you're like, okay, enough already. But anyway.
I won't keep stopping it, I promise. But I just want you to pay attention and listen to that again. Like, she's literally telling you, okay, that's enough. Like everybody else in the interviews tried to say, hey, and I know she probably seen this. I wonder, did she watch reaction interviews of how people reacted and how people felt after her interviews? Like Brittany just said, okay, it's enough, stop it. But what do you do?
Big time, and you're like, okay, enough already. But anyway,
it's really, it's not even Diane. It's the camera that just relentlessly stays on you.
On your face, exactly.
Well, and they ask questions that you can't help but cry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So again, I did not include the actual video because most people have seen it. I just wanted you all to kind of be able to see this. If you've never seen it before, of course, a lot of people probably have seen this as well, but get the opportunity to see semi what she felt about the interview. I kind of think if you watch this and pay attention, you can get a good feel that she didn't have fun. She didn't enjoy it. But this is staged as well. This is well trained, well rehearsed question and answer. So she answers everything upbeat as if it's fine because this is a night talk show. They don't want no sad, happy, nothing. So. I just thought it was interesting. She was telling little secrets like, stop, please. You know, I appreciate you for asking me the questions, but it's not the question I wanted you to ask. But I wanted you to kind of see the extra low cringe, the extra low cringe. I found some videos of her just going too far. I mean, because the thing is now we recognize a lot of different things in this world that, you know, basically are triggers or people's you know, sensitive areas. Whitney's addiction, like, I understand, but she was addicted. This is her addiction. You're not the one to do interventions, you know. With Susan Bull, like, the shade, like, I mean, of course, I'm gonna leave it up to you with the Rihanna, but just with all of it, with the Brittany, but with all of it, I'm gonna leave it up to you. I just put all of this stuff here so everybody can hear their opinion. If I have anything else to say about the individual ones that I show you, I'll chime in. But for the most part, I'm gonna just run through and let you see a little bit of the shade. The shade. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know. I'm really just keeping it random. So I just say let me know just because I'm nosy. As you can see, I'm just doing a broad, different variety of topics. So I'm going to keep on with this momentum just to put it out there. In case you've not seen any of my other videos, please check them out, but they may not all interest you. Just know that. Thank you so much for stopping by again. Bye.
It may be a bad shot, but this is real. I mean, the bones, that's real.
Yeah, my bones. Yeah, I'm 5'7" and thin. I can understand what you mean.
But that's not just thin.
No, what is it? Diane, tell me. Do you know?
It's scary.
Diane, tell me. Do you know? It's scary.
Thin.
I can believe what you feel. I can believe that. But do you really know? Did you really know?
No, you know.
Thank you.
God damn. I mean, like, legit, if you just watch that little section right there, I honestly, legit, do not care about her drug addiction. That was her personal choice. It's a bunch of drug addicts out here in these streets that don't nobody care about. So, look, she was dibbling, dabbling, doing whatever she was. But when I tell you, stand my ground. Like, I said what I said. Like, there's no way you can doubt. Like, you shut it down. Like, she may have wavered. You can definitely tell it rocked her a little bit. And that's why she gave that picture back. But she settled on. Do you know? Like, you have no idea. You want to think I'm on everything under the sun. I'm not. I'm on what I'm on. Yes. But you won't get that answer, though. No, thank you. Next.
Anorexia?
No way.
They've written it.
No way.
Bulimia?
No way.
That it's because of drugs?
No. Now, granted, I partied. But there have been times when I know I was going through a lot of emotional stress.
And my eating habits were awful.
Whitney dying. Crack rehab fails.
First of all, let's get one thing straight. Crack is cheap. I make too much money to ever smoke crack. Let's get that straight, okay? We don't do crack. We don't do that. Crack is whack.
Man, I just want to say, can you imagine the type of stuff? Looking at what Britney Spears went through in her crazy lifetime, just the amount of just craziness, just, what in the world? But can you imagine the type of stuff that Whitney Houston was going through? Man, if she could have wrote a book, Lord Jesus. But so yeah, so now we have basically shaming drug addicts.
2001 primetime live interview with Janet Jackson. There were a couple of cringy moments on Diane Sawyer's part. One big one, when Sawyer read some of the more risque lyrics of Jackson's song Would You Mind out loud to her, which seemed to make both of them uncomfortable. And it wasn't just the fact that Sawyer awkwardly read the lyrics out loud, it was also that she seemed to use the moment to slut-shame Jackson, asking her if this is something she reads to her mother. Things got even worse when the conversation turned to race. When Sawyer mentioned that there are, quote, tiny toxic darts of racism that Jackson must face, Jackson laughed, and the rest of the conversation went as such.
Do you think I'm completely incapable of understanding what it is?
Yes, because you were on the other side.
Susan Boyle made headlines when she stunned Britain's Got Talent viewers with her voice. Her disarming personality won fans over before she went on to sell over 25 million records, and years later revealed that she had been diagnosed with autism. During the height of her popularity, Boyle spoke with Diane Sawyer, who pressed her on her mental health and the bullying she faced in school as soon as the interview began. When Boyle asks to move on from the topic of her bullies, Sawyer immediately asks about Boyle admitting that at nearly 50 years old, she's never been kissed.
No comment. Don't want to talk about that.
And where does Sawyer go from there? Money. She basically asks Boyle what she's going to buy now that she's rich.
Well, it's just baby steps at the moment. We shall see how things progress.
Even for a remote interview, the awkward silences between Boyle's curt answers and Sawyer's stilted laughter were palpable. Shortly after the interview aired, the cut accused Sawyer of being, quote, patronizing to Boyle, especially when she asked her if she wanted to get a makeover when she comes to the United States. As of the
After the world found out about the abuse Rihanna suffered at the hands of Chris Brown, when TMZ published a police report and photos of her injuries from a night in 2009, the singer agreed to sit down with Diane Sawyer and talk about the situation on Twitter. The entire purpose of the interview was for Rihanna to be able to tell her side of the story once and for all without holding back. Some fans believed that Sawyer took her questioning to a place that quickly became exploitative in light of everything Rihanna had been through in the abusive relationship.
At one point in the interview, Sawyer shows Rihanna the photos of her bruised face before playing her comments from people saying she must have done something to provoke Brown to hit her. And even when Rihanna states that she is, quote, embarrassed and humiliated to see the photos, Sawyer pushes on. Fans on YouTube have accused Sawyer of victim shaming and intentionally, quote, going for tears, comparing this interview to the one she did with Britney Spears. As for Rihanna herself, though, looking back, she saw it as an opportunity to put the situation behind her. She told the Celeb Factory in 2011, "I just wanted to get that out the way so I could move on with my music. If you or someone you know is struggling with domestic abuse, please call or chat online with the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233.
I'm gonna just leave it right there. I don't think I need to say nothing else. I honestly haven't seen any of these interviews, but I can see the pattern. I can honestly see why I didn't watch any of those interviews. I say that I watched Diane Sawyer just because we've all seen her, you know, but I don't have a clear recollection of one interview that stood out in my mind. I didn't even watch her Michael Jackson interview. I don't watch those types of. It's like, to me, they're exploitative to begin with, and I hate seeing people just exploit it, good, bad, whether they're the good or bad person, you know, kind of thing. So I just couldn't, you know, watch them. But yes, I've not seen those, but that's a little bit of an eye-opener. That's an eye-opener right there. That's a little rough. I thank you so much for tuning in, y'all. Have a good day. Bye. I'm sorry. As my little PS, if you've ever watched Def Noodles, he always does a palate cleanser at the end of his videos, and I always said I wanted to start them, so I figured this was as good a time as any. So shout out to my man Def Noodles, and shout out to my man Belief in Fatherhood. Thanks so much for my palate cleanser of the day. I hope you don't mind.
If you're scared that the government is watching you, nobody is watching you like your children are watching you. That's creepy.